We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We reject indecision, confusion, and vanity, for they work against the community. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone U.
Hey guys, and welcome to another awesome episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob, and you're listening to episode number 337. Thank you, as always, for spending a few minutes of your day with us. Really appreciate it.
It sounds like you have a lot of energy. You're really excited about this podcast. I know you are. I think I'm more excited, though.
It's because there's gear.
It is.
Gear just makes it more fun.
Gear does make it more fun, but I have to tell you, more people have asked me about this camera than anything else, even drones. Like when I went to Mexico and was shooting with a couple different groups, they were all stunned by the Osmo.
Yeah, and a couple people in the group I noticed just mentioned, I finally got my Osmo. I can't believe I waited so long.
Yeah.
This thing is just blowing up.
Oh, yeah. It's the powerhouse of cameras right now.
Crazy.
I mean, at least of video cameras.
Right.
But, you know, a lot of people say, oh, the Osmo is great. You know, it's no Ronin. There are definitely nuances, tips,
sure.
and tricks to using the Osmo. You know,
It's not just I wouldn't say it's turnkey.
No.
I originally thought that, but when I first started using it, and I've not done it much since, it was a little challenging to get used to.
Yeah, and I mean, if you walk around a lot with it, you know, you'll still get a lot of vertical movement. So
Right.
there are tips and tricks to negate the vertical movement.
Sure.
But anyway, that's what we're talking about today. Today's question is all about the Osmo. And if you have a question, go to askdroneu.com and upload your question.
Absolutely. I love the question asker's name, Josny.
Josny.
That's a cool name.
You know what? Let's just go right into that question.
Let's do it.
Today's question is brought to you by... Are you a drone pilot? Are you operating under a Section 333 exemption? Then you may be familiar with Item 27, which requires you to get a property release for every flight over property.
Legal Flyer is an app for iPhone and iPad that helps you create professional property releases in less time than it takes to do a pre-flight check.
You can add your pilot info, you can sign it, hand it to the property owner for their signature. But wait a second. Legal Flyer's advanced integration automatically adds latitude, longitude, and even altitude.
Then add a panorama straight from the app. Everything drops into a single-page PDF you can share with a single tap. It's compliance at light speed. Visit LegalFlyer.com for more information or get it straight from the App Store. Legal Flyer. Property releases for professional drone pilots.
Hey guys, my name is Josny Bustamante and I live out in Miami, Florida. I just came through your channel on YouTube and I seen the 5 tips to use your Osmo, and very easy, explanatory video. I liked it. I like the extension tripods you're using on it and the other extension mounts from the GoPro. I'd like to know if those threads on them I can use, or do I have to modify my Osmo? I know you did mention that on another video you had on YouTube, so I just want to know if I can use those from the link right out of the box, or do I have to modify it? And you guys rock, man. It's an amazing community. I want to be more involved with you guys, so please let me know how I can do that. I'd like to participate and join some form or one way or another. Thanks.
Josny, you rock. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, glad you like the community so much. And I think the only way to get more involved is just to become a Drone U member, frankly.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of info, especially with all the new classes we're coming out with. I know we've been saying that for a couple months, but they're getting delivered. So
I think they're actually going to be coming out soon. That's what we're all hoping. And we know that everybody here is working really hard towards that end.
The caliber of quality is why the delay.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
so good.
So by the way, Josny, just go to thedroneu.com. Check us out.
Yeah, become a member. Anyway, to answer your question, to utilize the GoPro suction cup, which I have here, If you guys are listening on iTunes, Stitcher, in the car, wherever you are, go to YouTube and check out this video, and you can actually see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I have this suction cup right in front of me. I have a couple other little extra GoPro pieces attached to that. But in order for the GoPro to work with the Osmo, you've got to have this little adapter.
Cool.
Now, this adapter costs $5. I think it's like $5.62 or something. And I will make sure to provide the links to our producers so we can put the links in Amazon where you can find this stuff in the podcast description. So we'll make sure that it is there for you.
It's not like it's an adapter. It's something that's hard to come by.
No, it's not hard
whatever.
to come by. So what it is, if you can see, it's a GoPro connection on one side and then a 1/4 inch by 20 on the other side. Now, what you have to be careful is you have to make sure that the thread on the Osmo is the same as the adapter, because I made the mistake of utilizing this extension arm, which you can see here, and the extension arm link that I've given to everyone else is different than this one.
Oh, okay.
Because the thread is 1/4 by 10 or 1/4 by 15 instead of 1/4 20. So I've kind of screwed up the threads on our Osmo.
Just kind of now you just make
no,
it go
what
on.
what I do now is I only give it in like 3 turns, and then I tighten this little piece here against the Osmo
Okay.
to pull against the threads instead of.
And then go flying 85 miles an hour down the road with the suction cup on the window. Sweet. That's good to hear.
Hey, well, you know what? Hey, it's only $650 to get a new one. So I'm sure you love hearing that as our finance guy.
No, definitely love that. Life on the edge.
You know, hey, I haven't broken it yet, like completely.
No, you have.
And soon we're going to get the X5 on this thing and make it the Osmo Pro, because the one thing I don't like about the Osmo is that if you're doing a tilting reveal or a tilting and panning reveal, even if you're in manual mode, so even if you're in manual mode, you'll get this change of exposure value throughout the image as you're turning, and all of a sudden it'll just get lighter, darker, lighter, darker.
The X5 won't do that?
The X5 should not do that. I think there's more manual control, because what I've done is I have tried every way to negate that coming into my picture. I put the Osmo in auto at first. I see what settings is it reading, what is it shooting at. Then I go into manual and I match those settings, but I still get the exposure value change. So what I've been doing is kind of limiting my movements more to be one axis instead of two. So instead of tilting, turning up at the same time, it'll be like a much kind of smaller rotation up, just because then you don't get these changes in the image. And I'll provide some footage to John so you guys can check it out, but you'll see what I'm saying. Like I've got a real estate shot I'm thinking of right now where it just went light, dark, the room looks beautiful, then the room sucks. So
are you saying that with the Osmo you're going to have to limit the complexity of that shot then?
Well, I think you're going to have to limit the locations of the shot, because outside, that won't really happen on you, especially if you've got a good neutral density filter on there, which I've been using my Polar Pro Inspire 1 filters. Again, thank you to Polar Pro for sending us those filters and for us to be able to give those out to everyone else. We really appreciate it. And I hope their sales have seen that. I don't see why not. But with the neutral density filter like ND16, ND32, I don't use the polarizing filter. I just don't like the look of it. You get some issues sometimes where the sky is not as blue as you want it everywhere. It's only in certain sections. So I just stick to neutral density. Outside, those complex movements are fine unless you're exposing the ground and then the sky. Obviously, you're going to have some issues. But if you're just kind of making a nice sweeping motion and the subject's not really changing, you should be okay. For interiors is where you're going to have the problem.
I see. Okay.
So, but I've been dealing with that because our editor loves my Osmo shots. He was like, it adds a whole new dimension to your videos.
Cool.
So it's really taken up my value on just regular video work, which I've been doing a lot of recently, just regular videos.
And of course, giving you a lot more flexibility in terms of suctioning it up in a corner and then using your app to control it and just getting shots you wouldn't otherwise get.
Oh, dude, the app control is... I love it. Okay, you want to know something really awesome?
Of course.
If you've got the old version of the app for your Inspire 1, I just learned this. You're going to have to find out. in the class. Some really cool stuff that you can do with the app and the Inspire One that no one knows about. It's a complete glitch in the app. It works incredible to get amazing shots.
Wait a minute. So are you saying if you haven't already upgraded, then you could take advantage of this? Or is it
Yes.
somebody that people can go backwards or?
I think you can go backwards in the app if you download the app from the site itself, but
Or is it reason to get another iPhone?
you know,
Okay.
no more Apple stuff. But I have the older version of the app on my phone and the newer version on my iPad.
Got it.
Because on my phone I have automatic updates turned off, and on my iPad for some reason it was turned on. What a nightmare! Just for you guys out there, if you are shooting too, just a quick little tip and trick with the new app. It's resetting your defaults, all of your default settings. So if you shoot a lot of things at one time, like I do, you need to go in to your file settings on the camera and change file indexing mode from reset to continuous. You just want continuous. Do not leave it in reset. You'll end up losing files. I've lost 300, 400 files in the last week because of this stupid glitch. And if I could have a little DJI engineer, I'd slap him in the face for all the trouble he's caused me.
Yeah.
Now,
I thought you were saying that it wouldn't let you switch it over into continuous.
It wouldn't.
Okay.
But this morning, or actually, late last night, it let me do it.
Okay.
So, and I don't know why, but yeah, it was just not letting me change it. And I would literally shoot 100 files because it wouldn't write more than 100 files. So I'd shoot 100 files, drop my footage, shoot another 100 files, drop my footage. It was just a pain in the butt. It was a huge pain in the butt. And you've got to do the same thing on the Osmo. So when you are setting up your Osmo, set up the file settings as continuous, not reset. This will save your butt. Trust me.
Yeah, that's a hard lesson to learn the hard way.
Yeah, not
Sucks.
fun. It really does suck.
Okay, so back to Josny's question. There is an adapter, but beyond that, it's pretty simple as far as making it all work.
You know, and the other thing too, the reason I have the Osmo out, again, if you're watching on YouTube, the reason I have the Osmo out on this extension arm and slider is because I use the same extension arm for our tripod. So that's one thing we didn't really explain in the video, is that the extension arm we use here is the exact same one we use on the tripod, and then we just use app control.
Okay.
A lot of people try to get these nice smooth movements, and there is some tricks with using the Osmo. You know, it's a lot of wrist control to focus on rotation, and people get jerky with it because they're moving their arm. Move your wrist. Turn your, think of God, it's so funny. I always think of the movie Old School with Will Ferrell when he's he's ribbon twirling. I kind of just think of that. You've got to be graceful. So anyway.
How's that for a demonstration?
No, he does it much better than me. He goes up, a little
Will Ferrell.
hop and a skip. So anyway, had to have a little
If you're
fun
just
with
listening, you're missing out, guys.
that. Yeah. But this is by far my favorite accessory for the Osmo. And we've done a video on the 5 unique ways to use the Osmo. You can, again, see that here, or maybe on Rob's head. Maybe we can just get it shining off of his head sometime. But I love this because, like a slider with a camera, you now have an infinite slider. You can slide this. I slide it a lot on kitchen countertops. I slide it a lot on furniture,
So
on
do you
floors.
tie something to it and pull it?
No, I just push it.
Just push it
I
and let
just
it go?
literally
And
just
run to the other side like Bugs Bunny and catch it before it goes off the edge?
It's never tipped over on me.
That's good to know.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Sheesh.
But what I actually do is I'll push it, or I have someone else push it, and then I'll actually pan as it's pushing, because you get these super complex motions you can normally only get on a drone with this.
Yeah.
That's why I love it. That's why I love utilizing the Osmo for that competitive advantage. If you're a videographer and you don't even fly drones, you've got to get one of these things. Again, its best use is outside, just because, this is pretty much the exact same camera as the Inspire One. Now, remember, guys, you can take your Inspire One camera and put it on the Osmo, but you cannot take the Osmo camera and put it on your Inspire One. Just want to clarify that one more time, too.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is.
But you can take your X5 off the Inspire and put it on this,
Cool.
if you have the adapter, which is
Right.
available on DJI's website.
Yeah, so you can do that, obviously. We'll include the links to get one of these as well. I noticed on Amazon for the longest time that they weren't available.
No, they sold out once we talked about them at first.
Okay.
Now
So
they're
there
back.
may be more. I haven't checked. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
checked.
they're back. And I honestly have links for multiple ones. There's one, I like this one because it fits in my GPC Osmo case. Every accessory you see right here fits in the case with my charger, with extra batteries, with my filters. And that's what I love. Thank you, GPC, seriously. If you need a GPC case of any kind, make sure that you go to GPC's website and then use offer code DRONEU15, all caps, DRONEU15, number 15. And you can save, I think it's like 10 or 15% on any case. But the Osmo case, you got to get one. I mean, you have to get one. The Osmo is kind of bulky and hard to carry, and it comes in, it almost looks like a gun case when you buy it.
It's a nice case, but it doesn't allow you to carry everything with it.
Yeah, you can't put anything else in there. You can't even put filters in there. So, or an extra battery. So this way I can fit 6 batteries, all my accessories. And again, my favorite shots when we were doing that video and testing with that video was the skateboarding stuff. To match speed with the skateboarder on the ground was really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back, I know one little ADD for a rant there. The difference between the sliders that you'll see on Amazon, one has a big telescopic pull, so you can be standing and push it from the ground and control it from the app. I would recommend that for most beginners. I've just mastered pushing it and getting on the app and making my movement. Does it take practice? Yes, it definitely takes practice, but the things you can do with this are incredible. But
I could see where the pull would be helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Very helpful.
Oh, yeah. So another thing that I would tell you is, if you utilize, say, a helmet mount, or because we've used the helmet mount, I went ATVing with this thing. It didn't like it. It didn't record the files. I finally looked for all the SD cards. I've captured all of my cards. I have all my cards, and the footage didn't save. I think it overheated. I just don't think it liked it.
Interesting.
But
okay.
One tip I'll give people is that if you do mount, excuse me, if you do mount your Osmo to a helmet or to something with those fixed GoPro mounts, our intern actually taught me this. Those fixed mounts come with a little white rubber band thing, and I thought it was just a cable connector. Like I thought you just organize all your cables with this thing.
Right.
But actually, if you slide it in, if you're using the hard mount, the 3M, you know that with the GoPro mount, you just slide it in and it clicks into place. This white thing goes in between those two clips and actually removes a lot of the vibrations. So
That
it's kind of
makes
like your isolation plate on your drone.
Little shock absorbers of sort.
Yes, I would absolutely recommend that to get even better footage. But I have to say, the footage out of this thing is incredible.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I know you use it all the time.
Yeah, I want another one. Like, no joke, because if John got used to using this thing, no. If maybe, if John got used to using this thing, I think he'd be using it a lot for B-roll. Just like you can't walk around with it like everyone really says you can. But if you can learn to articulate your arms and legs over long places without making big vertical movements, you can get some really incredible cool stuff. And it shoots slow-mo. It's not super crystal clear slow-mo, but it's still slow-mo. And it's stabilized slow-mo, and you don't get that out of a GoPro.
So basically, it's the best thing since sliced bread.
It's the best thing since a GoPro. I'll say that. GoPro was huge. This is the next best thing.
Awesome.
In fact, when I shot from Marriott, I was showing them this thing, and they were just like flabbergasted by the quality of footage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's a good camera. I know you've gone on about it for a long time. So anyways, hopefully go ahead.
The only downfall is this is not going to shoot low light. Like, this is not a good low light camera at all. So don't think you're going to get good low light out of it. The batteries go quickly. You'll only get about an hour out of a battery, but they've got higher capacity batteries now. You can even use one of your Phantom batteries to plug into the bottom of this thing to power it.
Right.
So there's a lot of flexibility. And I mean, what you can do with this because of the app. What people don't understand is how important the app is, because you get these beautiful, slow, perfect movements.
Sounds like we need to do an Osmo course. Sounds like there's enough material there to do that.
We've already been asked.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get the 4 courses that we're filming right now done.
I know. The list continues to
grow.
We're
like literally 10% away from each course being done.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
let's
just finish.
We keep the list going of upcoming courses for sure.
We need more trainers here.
Yeah, we do.
But anyway, guys, seriously, special thanks to GPC, special thanks to Polar Pro. If you're not familiar with those people, get familiar. They're amazing, amazing people. And they have amazing products too. It just goes to show. Awesome people, awesome product. You've got to have the neutral density filters for the Osmo if you're shooting outside. And honestly, the amount of color grading you'll have to do won't be much. So you can shoot in D-Log with it, which is awesome, just like the Inspire. It does shoot 4K. You know, again, one of the other cons is that it gets very hot. So if you're filming in the middle of the summer, keep it cool. Don't expect to film all day with it because it will overheat and shut down on you.
Right, just shut down. Okay, right in the middle of a shot. That wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, and I mean that's the big problem with mirrorless cameras right now too, is that they overheat. It's that what is it, the Amarillo chip or whatever they use, and 4K it's pushing a lot of information through all of those circuit boards, and it just heats up and it gets really hot. And there's a fan there and there's a fan there, so there's 2 fans on that little tiny head.
Right.
So
and they still need more.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's awesome. It'd be cool if we could set up like how they have GoPro arrays, but an Osmo array. Gosh, that would be so cool. Anyway.
Coming soon.
Well, like I could just see, a GoPro array is normally just a bunch of cameras set up on one angular piece of wood or metal. But imagine if you had a half moon and it was 5 different tracks for these. And then each Osmo moves simultaneously around, say, a car jumping over something or a wakeboarder jumping over a jump, and you'd have this 360-degree view of him that you could interlace the footage. I think that would be sick.
No, that would be sick, but that's why you do what you do, because you think of those things.
I'm just creative. I'm like, let's come up with ideas.
I know. No, it's great. It's fun. That's why you get hired. So anyways, Josny, hopefully that answered your question. And as Paul mentioned early on, if you have a question, go to askdroneu.com. Submit that. Give us your best accent just for fun, because we love it.
Seriously, and we are giving out a free membership, but for you, Josny, I would say become a member. I know also soon you guys are talking about running a sale. I'm not going to talk about it because I know it's not legit yet, but I know it's coming. So that doesn't mean hold out, because it's actually an annual sale. So for regular members, it wouldn't have an effect on you unless you're one of those prepay buyers. You're like the Costco guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a Costco guy?
I have a big family.
So you're a Costco.
So there by default.
You're a Costco guy.
In fact, I love Costco and I hate Costco.
I love Costco because they have really cool stuff and they always change it up. And I hate Costco because I always walk out $500
exactly
more broke. So
yep, that's exactly right.
It's like, and there's 3 figures gone.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Every single time.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to go in there and do the $100 challenge?
Well, I can do it.
Yeah, it's the whole wife thing, right?
Well, I mean, I don't mean that sounds bad. She's the one that's keeping us stock. So anyways, check us out. Where else can people see us? Twitter, Instagram.
Twitter.com/thedroneu, Facebook.com/droneu, Instagram @thedroneu. We're still reposting lots of those photos. Love them. Keep them coming. You can't say how much I love it. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Drone U.
We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We reject indecision, confusion, and vanity, for they work against the community. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone U.